careful to acknowledge our systematic disadvantages. But at the end of the day, as adults, you got to find a way to understand this shit and then begin to navigate around it so you don't negatively impact your family. Because if you look at a lot of the young street dudes, and this is my opinion, family, and to me, this shit's 100. If you look at a lot of the young street dudes in our community, how many of them do you think got fathers? I mean, the young niggas that's really out there in the streets. How many of them got 2-parent homes, right? How many of them come from structured backgrounds? I think sometimes we forget how we make this shit way more difficult than it has to be. Like for any black man out there, if you got hella kids by hella different women, you're doing it the wrong way. To me, that is the wrong way. There is a right way and a wrong way to start a family. Now, granted, that don't mean you can't still be in your kid's life. That don't mean you can't still visit him. That don't mean y'all not going to be 100 with each other. That don't mean you're not going to eventually have a great relationship, or you may have a great relationship with your child now. That don't mean that's not going to happen, but you're making it more difficult. Family, kids should be in one house with their parents. If you've done that, because look, we have people who do it the right way, or the presumably right way. They find a partner, they get married or not, but they in an established relationship with a woman or man, and from that union, they have a kid, right? And even those situations break down if for whatever reason y'all not together no more. That's just life. That's just gonna happen. Family, let's not make it harder than we need to make it, though. If you a young dude out here in these streets having sex unprotected, not being responsible, and out of these interactions, you end up having kids, you're fucking our community up, family. I'm sorry if nobody never told it to you like that, but that's facts. Now, again, you can still end up being a dedicated father. You can still end up raising a kid that's pretty settled mentally, but every kid needs both parents in the home. Any child that has to go from separate homes, this is a small level of dysfunction that we have to talk about in our community. And then we have people like myself. When I was young, I had 4 kids by 2 different women by the time I was 23 years old. Family, this is completely dysfunctional behavior. Like, we look at these rappers and entertainers and other people like that who got different baby mamas all over the place. To me, they don't contextualize that shit the right way. They need to be telling the youth this was wrong. Like, I did this the wrong way. Yeah, I got money, so I'm able to make the environment a little more comfortable. We don't have to deal with financial strain. But what kid wants to go from separate houses, right? What kid wants to go from, because when you go to dad's house, there's a separate set of rules. When you go to mom's house, there's a different set of rules, right? So as a man, if you do decide, for whatever reason, it could have been a mistake. It could have been when you was younger, just like me. If your situation ends up where you have kids from different homes, you got to be like a master communicator at this point. You have to understand, okay, how she operates in her house may be a little different. How can I talk to her about that? How can I let her see the error in some of the things that's going on? How can I be receptive if she comes to me and says, this is what you're doing in your house, this is what I'm doing in my house? That may interfere with how I'm trying to create structure. You got to be able to communicate these things and be willing to make changes, right? You know what I mean? So let me bring my boy back in here again. I'm going to invite him again to see if there's going to be a lag. Hold on one second, family, because this is important. And I wanted my brother to come on and just express, like he was saying, let's see here, some of the difficulties he's had to go through being away from your family, right? Being